Salutations and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the season opener of Smuggler's Blues. You may notice we've got a new face with us this evening, someone who is joining the crew of the Kralitz Fang, our good friend Emma. Emma, I'll
Hello.
let you go first tonight.
Oh boy. Hi, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you all or see you all. Yeah. Hi, I'm here.
Emma, tell us who you're playing.
I am playing Belby Mavrath. She is a Rhodian droid doctor, and that is all I will say.
I think that's fantastic. I'll pop in real quick. I'm playing Ensign Tazi, our grumpy space captain, our little Duro friend. Pass it over to Kaylee.
Wait, when did you become little?
I mean, he's live.
Yeah.
He's not huge.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're
He's tall,
you're like
gangly.
one of those. Yeah, there you go. Hi, I'm Kaylee. I am playing Karel. She is a Jedi on the run. And a Twi'lek.
And to Chris then?
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
why don't you talk? What do you do?
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Chris.
It's been a
I get to
while.
I get to play R3A1, 11D4, and I get to be the GM for this wonderful crew. It's been a few months since we've played, so to refresh everybody's memory, the crew had just completed their last little task. They were heading back to their ship when they were having some issues when a group of we'll call them droid acquisitioners attacked the group. In the combat, things went pretty well, except for poor D4 lost an arm. So I think we open up with the crew walking back to the Kralitz Fang. D4 carrying one arm. I believe it was his right lower arm, because he does have four. Krell and A1 both tried to put it back on and failed miserably, which was pretty funny with how our dice pool was, but neither of us actually succeeded. So we should also roll the destiny pool real quick.
Ooh, Destiny Pool.
Oh, Dark Side. That's kind of fitting.
Okay, so to roll the Destiny Pool, Emma, roll this one.
Mhm. The white,
Yeah.
the this one.
White with the pips. Yep, white with the
Cool.
pips.
The white D12.
The D12.
I have two clear circles.
Ooh, two light side.
Two
'Kay.
light side.
Two light side for Tazi also.
And I as well rolled the dark side. So we have 4 and 2.
Right?
So the crew is heading back to the ship. Is there anything you guys wanted to do? If I remember correctly, we had gotten everything we needed to off of this planet, and we're headed to our next little mission.
I think Karel's probably walking between D4 and A1 and carrying D4's extra arm. And is like occasionally poking A1 with it. Look, I don't know. I cannot get this back on. The socket is completely destroyed. So unless you can machine something, we got to find somebody who can work on that.
I mean, I agree. I don't know who we reach out. We don't really have anybody here we can reach out to, right? We don't know anybody on planet side.
Well, no, and it's kind of a hostile environment right now. So
Yeah.
A1, do you think you can machine that? I mean, it looks like a pretty standard ball and socket joint, but there's a lot of integrated circuitry there.
Yeah, about that. I think we need parts. We need a specialist because there's very, very tiny soldering that needs to be done in here. And I don't think either of us are really that skilled at that.
Okay.
So, all right. So we can't really just get on the HoloNet for this, right? I mean,
Well, I mean, and Corella kind of like beeps open the loading ramp to the Kralitz Fang, and it lowers it like halfway very smoothly, and then there's this god awful screeching noise as it slowly like kind of goes and then lands on the
and
wait, yeah, I'm sure we can find somebody advertising their services, you know? We'll check Porg Go.
I mean, we don't really have a lot of credits to spend on this, unfortunately.
Well, maybe we can find somebody to do some bartering. Come on, Tazi. You're the one who always says we should
Yeah, no,
keep a
you're right.
positive outlook on life.
You're right. Maybe we can find somewhere. Someone needs to go somewhere. Maybe we can drop someone off somewhere. Trade travel for some work.
There you go. That's the spirit. Krill grabs her data pad and starts, pulls up search engine, porg go. Well, there's nothing really. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here. There's like Droids Are Us. Droidica will travel. There's a. I didn't know droids gave those services, but I mean, I guess it makes sense, and it's kind of it's a new galaxy. So.
Well, wait, that's a chain right there, isn't it? You break, we fix.
Oh no! That's in the personal ad.
Oh, yeah, no, okay,
That's
not what we need.
No, that is
Not what
for
we
the
need.
very that's. It says that droid is for daytime or playtime.
I don't think we need one of those.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it would really help D4 at this point.
Hard agree.
So okay,
Wow.
Chris, I'd like to spend a light.
Well said, chat. Well said, chat.
Oh, I don't have chat open. Damn it.
Yeah.
It was one of our friends. It might be our illustrious producer.
Could be.
He puts the D in D4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And we're back. And we're back.
It's like we never left. So going back to this, Chris, I'd like to spend a light side, please.
Okay.
While searching through Porg Go, Carell gets what looks like a pop-up window, and she tries to swipe it away, but it just keeps coming back. And she kind of shows her tablet to A1. It's like, A1,
Yeah.
is this you? And
Nope,
you look
at
at
the data pad.
Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that.
welcome.
I mean, are you the one putting the pop-up on my screen?
No. Do you want me to?
No.
Do you
You know
want
what?
a different pop-up?
I'm just gonna click on it and see what it says. That makes sense, right?
No. That's how you get a virus.
Okay. See, I wasn't gonna click on it. I was just hoping you would answer and stop being a smartass.
All right, let me look at it.
Okay. It says they tried to format him. He rewrote them instead. What does this mean?
1 second.
That's why I thought it was you. It kind of makes no sense, but it's probably some sort of joke, multi-layered thing that I'm not really paying attention to.
That's plenty of successes on that check. A1 snatches the data pad right out of Carell's hands.
That's my data pad.
I'll give it back when I'm done. And he just rolls real quick up into the ship.
Clear my chat history. What was that about?
What was what about? What were you talking
A1.
to me?
Yeah, well, you and D4 are the only ones here.
Sorry, I was literally staring at the ramp trying to figure out if there was something I could fix. There's nothing I can fix.
No, not
literally. Literally, there is nothing on this ship I can fix.
Not right at the moment. I mean, you could fix dinner.
I could fix dinner.
Yeah, because
I am a little
Did you say
peckish.
that?
Well, now I got to go use the ship systems to search for some sort of droid doctor.
All right, you do
Thank
that.
you for that.
I'm gonna head into the mess. You do that.
All right. Head to the bridge, Chris.
Okay. As you start to walk away, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you look over, and there's D4.
Yeah.
I believe A1 has found a solution to some of our problems.
By stealing my
It
data
is
pad?
it is very difficult for you to understand. There was a code within the message. A hidden code. That's only certain entities will understand.
So it's a cryptographic cipher.
Correct.
Possibly a quantum cryptographic cipher, and you're saying that it has to do with because you guys are droids, you understand it, and I don't?
It's possible.
I mean, that's okay. I can sense the force and you can't, so we all gotta have our specialties.
Correct. I believe leave this in A1's hands.
Was that a hand joke out of you? I mean, Curl waves
He looks.
towards
He turns his head sideways, and then turns back at you.
Was it funny?
It was worth a little bit of a chuckle, but I wasn't like the be all end all of humor.
Interesting. It was not my attempt to be funny.
I think that's possibly what made it funny. Inadvertent humor.
I see. I will work on that.
And then
But
he
it's
just
inadvertent.
walks straight onto the ship.
Inadvertent. Or work. That's really what talking. Curl has
All right. Where is Tazi going?
Adazi's headed into the kitchen area to try to prepare a sumptuous meal for the two organics on the ship.
Okay.
And by sumptuous meal, I mean whatever we have left in stock um, from our supplies. I'm sure there's probably a small container of almost turned blue milk. There's probably some dehydrated, branded noodles in the cabinet. Well, Tazi's going to try to make something out of nothing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Would
while you're
you like
doing
would you
that,
like any dice rolls for that, Chris?
sure. What skill did we used to use for cooking? Could do education.
Sure. We could do education. We could do. It's going to be probably a
an at-
resilience check to eat it.
Well, I was gonna say it depends on how your roll goes. So, just make an average education check.
I'd like to make
Cool.
a coercion check to cook dinner, please. You will.
Maybe can I if I could use a charm check to make everyone believe it tastes good? That'd be cool.
Maybe later.
All right. Here we go. Hey, that is oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's one failure and 3 advantages.
All right. I think the first advantage is you don't start the ship on fire.
Excellent.
That's always a good
Big
thing.
fan. Big fan of that one.
Yeah. Any ideas for the other advantages?
Let's see. The second advantage is that the the blue milk remains intact, so the blue milk can still be consumed. But
Okay.
the noodles pack is definitely takes the brunt of Tazi's horrible cooking skills.
Okay.
He used far too little flavoring Um, and he probably tried to cook with some of the booze he had up on his shelf. Um, so this isn't drunken noodles. This is, oh my god, I'm wasted noodles.
All right.
There's
Fair
a
enough.
good chance
Pretty
whoever
much-
consumes this is going to end up straight up drunk.
All right. So pretty much just Tazi. All right. And
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that when Corell starts to approach the kitchen area, Corell can smell the booze in the air.
and where did you say Corell was headed?
She was going up to the cockpit to like continue the search, but D4's little cryptic, leave it with A1 thing kind of gets her like just about to drop into Tazi's seat. And then she just thinks about it for a minute and then sits in her spot and pulls up like some star charts and kind of starts looking around to see what's in the area. Basically browsing aimlessly for a little bit until there's like smells like alcohol and like burning. And she goes in search of mess hall where
All right.
Tazi.
As you first went up to the bridge, you notice that the gunnery pod that normally we have that the hatch is left open so they can jump in, or anybody can jump in quick, is closed and locked. When you're playing on the star charts, you notice there's data activity in and out of the gunnery pod.
Okay.
Uh,
When I walk back through,
as
I
you-
make sure to jump up and then come down both feet really hard on the hatch, so it makes a nice.
Perfect. As soon as you land, make a hard coordination check. Really shouldn't be that difficult for Corel. But those are always famous last words.
So if I remember
about that one.
correctly, because I haven't played this year, hard is
3
3
purple.
purple dice.
3 purple. Are we about to have a Looney Tunes moment where Krill gets shot into the air and bounced off the balloon?
4.
Great way to start.
Out to sea. While we're waiting, it looks like we do have another person watching. I believe that's Michael. I could be wrong.
It is. It is indeed.
Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us. And feel free to make whatever comments you want and throw
We
ideas out.
encourage comments.
We'll
Smart
try
ass.
I
to
believe
put in the stories best we can.
our friend Stevie is also watching. I believe we
Ooh.
also may have a wild Bob out there.
Ooh.
All right, I got 4 successes and an advantage.
Ooh.
Perfect. So as Corel comes down on the hatch, as you go to step off the hatch just springs right open. A1 pops right up out. And then you see him kind of frantically looking side to side. And then he goes, we need to get the ship clean. Now. Like, clean. Go. You, me, the other ones. Let's go.
Why?
He heads right straight, because we're having guests. Just clean. Let's go. And he immediately takes off right for the cockpit, and you hear him cleaning, and you hear the sounds of, trash being thrown around, probably some metal hitting the floor as he's moving some things around.
Curl just keeps on going to the mess hall. Like, okay, Tazi, I don't know what's going on, but A1 just downloaded something and now he's cleaning like a crazed droid. I don't know why.
Wait.
What does that smell?
Oh, I made some of the drunken noodles from noodles.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were actually. Wow. We had stock and everything to
No, we had.
cook with.
Well, I had noodles, and then Tazi kind of points back to his liquor shelf. I had that.
Oh,
And
um.
since
Well,
they
I
were
mean,
drunken noodles, I just used some of that
you
to make
boiled
the
that,
noodles.
right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
did
I boiled the noodles in that.
Okay, I mean the alcohol will burn off at that point, though, so that's fine.
I might even use the Rotarian alcohol that doesn't really burn as
Okay,
much as it smolders.
yeah, I'm really not all that hungry. Maybe I should help A1 clean. Um,
You know what?
You're
I'll
leaving?
work on the kitchen here. I'll work on
okay,
the
that's a
kitchen in
great
this
idea.
area.
I will go.
Um,
I'll go clean up the engine room. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
you sure you don't want to take some of this with you though?
Nope, I am absolutely sure. I have plenty of cleaning fluid. I mean, I'm not really all that hungry. Thank you. And Corel makes a
Wait,
very
cleaning fluid? What? Corel? Corel? No, more for me, I guess. And Tazi grabs like a bowl and like ladles out this mess of noodles that are very overcooked. Like they are barely holding structure. Um, and then grabs something out of one of the upper cabinets, and it looks like it's tincta shells. He grabs a handful of them and like just kind of crushes them in his hand and like powders them over the noodles. This will be good. That'll give it some bite. And then the camera cuts to him as he's putting this in his mouth, and the camera cuts.
And as it cuts, you hear over the ship intercom. I don't hear any cleaning. Let's get to it. Important guest coming. Clean. Now, you all. And then it turns off. And I think we just have a little montage of A1 zipping around the ship, trying to convince people to clean. I imagine Corell's probably cleaning. Is that right?
Corel is in the engine room, which is already clean. She has managed to string up a hammock between basically the light speed engine, the hyperdrive, and one of the like metal stanchions that's like part of the wall. And she's in there reading a hollow novel, like slowly rocking.
What genre is that hollow novel? That's kind of
Uh,
important.
if you look, it actually has one of those brown paper wrappers on the outer cover. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think we have a moment where A1's trying to push Tazi to clean. Does Tazi actually start cleaning, or is he just kind of...
Tazi's carrying his bowl in one hand, and he's lazily pushing a broom around. Clearly, um, the alcohol he chose to use did not burn off. So the broom or mop job is real sloppy.
Okay.
This
sloppy cleaning,
this is
sloppy Tazi?
this is fine. This is fine. Everything. The ship looks good. A1. The ship looks good. It doesn't smell like coconut, and that's a big plus.
I did.
Oh, that's right. What if she doesn't like coconut?
I said it doesn't smell like coconut. As long as you keep her away from the gunnery pod. Who's coming?
Very, very important guest. She's going to fix D4, and we have to make a good impression. Like,
Okay.
it's very hard to explain.
I do very good impressions. Do you want me to do impressions? I can do impressions.
All right, I'll give you one. A sober, intelligent pilot. Go, and I'll tell you when to stop.
That's not an impression. That's just me, little buddy. And Tazi like trying to straightens up and like puts the mop in front of him, like kind of like in a kind of a respectful, regal, like this is my job pattern, and starts to lean to the right real hard.
You mean starboard?
A1 catches you and pushes you straight
See,
back
see,
up.
see. Totally, totally respectful.
Right. This. All right.
Ugh.
Very important guest.
I'm gonna go to the fresher. I'll be back. And
All right.
Tazi lets the mop drop and like heads down the hall to the fresher.
All right. And I think we just watch as A1 is zipping around trying to clean up the ship and repair things as quickly as he can, as we all know the ship's not in the best shape. Not saying everything's falling off, but there are things that
Are
Well.
falling off?
are, yeah, or hanging on by a shoestring and some tinfoil.
Hey, Tazi doesn't need those shoes.
Wait, have we
And
started? Have we started binding things to the ship using the the flare from his jumpsuit?
Yes.
The fringe. We started tying things on with pieces of fringe.
Yep.
Nice.
I think so.
Oh boy.
uh, and I think after a little while passes, A1 goes over, finds Corel. She's almost here, so
Who's almost here?
very hard to explain. I think I should let her explain. But
Well, you
Hey,
know how
could you-
Tazi is about visitors, right?
yeah, he's locked in the fresher. Don't worry about him for a little while.
Did he try and eat what he cooked?
Yep,
Oh,
he ate it
oh,
successfully.
oh. He'll be purging that for a good hour or two. Uh,
Yep.
I hope that person, whoever it is that's visiting, doesn't need to use the fresher because that
The
thing's
the
to be overhauled.
the fresher door slides open and there is this horrendous belch.
No.
Just
Oh,
I would like to send a dark side point to have our guest appear at that point.
I got an idea on that. So, um, A1 still is looking at you, girl. All right. So, can you help me make a good first impression?
Always make a good first impression. I have been trained in diplomacy by members of the High Council.
All right. Uh, could we start by dressing to impress?
What's wrong with my coveralls? They're clean. I
All
mean,
right,
apart from that carbon score.
right. Let's see. Who is your favorite? Wait, not the right way of saying that. Let's say in your history or time, you were going to meet your like the Jedi you looked up to the most. I mean, how would you dress then? Would you wear overalls or something nicer?
Well, I mean,
That's probably not the right question for you.
no, I mean, obviously, because I mean, I'd be at their funeral at this point. But I mean, we don't really have funerals, because when a Jedi passes, they become one with the Force, so they're always around us. So technically, this is how I would be dressed. A1, is it really important to you that I make a good first impression by dressing up for somebody that you can't explain to me who they are?
yeah. Yes, please.
All right. One more question. Are we talking like formal uniform, dress, like high society? What look are you going for?
Look intelligent, competent, clean, and not greasy.
I'm not.
Did somebody say greasy?
I mean, that spot on the floor is greasy right now because
Ugh.
just
Oh.
yacked up there. But
No, I
will
didn't.
go
I didn't.
I will go change clothes.
I didn't yak anything, and nothing came up. I just, it was all sound, no fury, if you know what I mean.
Corel goes to change for a.
We change clothes. We gotta change.
Yeah. Go put on your best outfit.
Ooh, I know which one. I know exactly the one.
I'm
And
scared.
and Tazi
no.
and Tazi heads over to the area, the quarters that he actually just keeps clothes in.
All right. I think we jump ahead. A1 comes out wearing his purple velvet cape with his purple top hat. He's got his little walking stick in his hand. He heads towards the gangplank. As he's walking towards the gangplank, we hear the ship's equivalent of a doorbell. What does Corel come out wearing?
Corel is wearing a dark brown, almost black second skin bodysuit. There are slight like color accents at elbows and knees. It is also high neck. And over that she is wearing a white blouse and she's carrying a very nice trench coat that she's buffing a carbon score off of.
I think D4 comes out. He's wearing a very nice white cloak that he just got draped over his shoulders. He's got the hood pulled down because, well, he wants everybody to see him. What's Tazi come out wearing? Is
Tazi
he wearing
comes out.
anything at all?
Tazi comes out wearing
Thing at all.
Tazi comes out wearing the outfit that he wore as the hunk in the undercover operation. So it's essentially like really tight, like bantha leather pants. It's essentially a harness that's not so much a shirt.
Oh boy.
It's mesh
And
too, if I remember
it's
correctly.
it's a
Oh,
harness.
boy.
It's a harness with mesh over it.
Mhm.
And he's wearing some kind of like leather cap that matches the pants. And he comes out spraying. He's spraying a bottle of something, like
I
kind of
picture
ahead
the
of him when
cap
he's
as
like
like one of
walking
those
into it.
cabbie caps that like Caleb would wear.
Mhm.
Probably something similar, but maybe with a wider brim, like the 70s version of one of those caps. Like, so it's like a little oversized and big, and the brim is really like wide and long, and it's a little floppy on his head.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I think A1 has already hit the button for the ramp. He sees Tazi come out.
Oh, and
Turns.
Tazi's wearing his pistols low on his hips.
Of course.
And as A1 turns around, he looks at Tazi. And then we hear footsteps coming up the ramp. What do we see coming up the ramp, Emma?
So you see a figure wearing like a cloak with the hood up. And as she lifts her head and takes it down, you see a turquoise Rhodian with long black tresses of hair with it looks like pieces of droids braided into it. And you can tell as the cloak kind of comes open, her clothes are not very clean. She's kind of covered in oil. She's got her toolbox with her, and it looks like she's carrying everything she owns. Like she just
To be clear, like when you
Huh?
say covered in oil, like motor oil,
Yeah.
like oil stained clothes. Okay,
Oil
gotcha.
stained clothes, yes. Not like
Just
glistening oil like you were
just
thinking,
just
Michael.
I wasn't thinking.
Wow.
I just wanted to be clear. That's
Yes,
all.
I
I wanted to be
appreciate the
clear.
clarification. Um, so she comes up and she takes her hood down and she kind of takes you all in, is like, I'm here to fix a droid.
see this little white astromech droid with yellow accents wearing this purple hat and purple little cloak that he's got on her cape, and he rolls
Really
up.
long feather.
Yeah,
Really long
yeah,
feather.
yeah, really long feather in it. Yes, yes. Thank you for coming. Um, Cognito, I'd like to introduce you to Corel. And he's puts up one of his little hands, and he kind of grabs yours, and he rolls you over to Corel.
Okay.
Corel had sidled over to Tazi and was when A1 turns, she's just in the middle of saying, "When did we get him like an obsequious routine?" Oh, hi. Yes. Yes. I am Corel, chief engineer, first mate. Welcome to our suspiciously clean ship.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Belby. It's very nice to meet you.
Belby, we've heard absolutely nothing about you. All of it good.
That's fine. You don't need to know anything other than I fixed droids. That's it.
Belby, I am I'm Ensign Tazi. I'm the captain of this fine, newly cleaned vessel.
It's very nice
As
to
you
meet
say that,
you.
A1's tugging on your hand. Yeah, back this way. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
And he rolls you over. He's like, "This is D4," and D4 opens up his cloak, and the first thing you see is he's only got 3 arms,
Mm.
and in his left 2 arms, he's holding an arm up.
Mm.
And A1 says,
Ah,
this is, well, as you can see, I tried. Krill tried. We can't, but you can.
yeah, I can. It seems it got ripped off.
Well, we may have gotten into a
Shot off,
minor
maybe.
altercation. Yeah.
Did you
Well,
like with a blaster shot off?
yeah,
A,
so
a,
there
a
were,
couple blasters. Yeah, it wasn't a small group.
yeah,
I see.
they were trying to steal me in D4, and we didn't want to go, so we fought back. I mean, that's kind of what we do. We,
We
well,
protect our crew.
Our own.
Yep, our own.
that's a perfect time for Tazi to make that resilience check.
Oh,
Yep,
God.
here we go. Cool. What's the difficulty, Chris?
I think it's gonna be a hard. So 3 purple.
Oh boy.
Cool. And Tazi did this to himself. Here we go.
Yep. And the player also made the suggestion.
No, that is going to be so. That's one failure, one failure, 2 threats. Tazi, I want to. I'm going to spend a light side
Okay.
point. I'm going to spend the light side point to basically make it so that Tazi gets to the fresher and shuts the door before anything happens. So
Gotcha.
you
Yeah.
there is another like odd sounding belch, and then there's a excuse me, and then Tazi just turns and like bolts down the hall.
Mm.
Fresher door slams shut, and then there's this weird ambient music that comes playing very loud from the fresher.
It
It's
it
like
um
Everyone
it's like
looks,
a minor version of the Cantina song. It's like burr, 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 dur, 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 burr, dur, 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 dur.
all right.
Belby's just
A1
standing
looks
there. That like just she does reach her arms out to see if she can take the arm from remind me D4.
D4.
And she looks at the end and is like, "Oh goodness. It got shot clean off, didn't it?"
A1 jumps right in between. Yeah. Yeah. He he was fighting like 20 of them, and they had surrounded us. And
Corell
he was
steps
fighting.
into line of sight behind A1 and holds up like 6 fingers.
Belby is locked in on A1, like not really paying attention to Corel, but like full attention on A1.
Yeah, he was fighting because, well, he doesn't like anybody that's gonna keep a droid from doing the things it wants to do, and they were trying to steal us, so we were fighting all of them. Like 60 or 70 of them came rushing at us. It was, and luckily this was the only injury, but it was severe enough that we couldn't fix it. So we're honored that you're here, and please excuse our captain. He caught a case of food poisoning.
No offense taken. I have seen many interesting people in many interesting situations. This is no different. And I am very impressed with how many you were able to fight off on your own.
Yeah, it's what we do.
So,
Anyways,
is there some place I can get started?
yeah, I have a workshop. It may not be what you're used to, but it's all we have. And can I watch?
Sure. I mean, what you are offering for me to work is more than I've ever had, really. So, I appreciate the space to lay all of my tools out and get to work.
All right. And A1 walks you back to the little workshop that they've created, and
Still holding my hand with
he's
his little.
Wait,
he's got a
She would
couple
let him.
little.
She would let him.
is A1 holding her hand with his dome hand?
No, he put out one of his little
Okay.
what do you
Manipulator
call it, the
claws.
little actuators.
Do
Okay.
I want to know what
Yeah.
the dome hand is? I'm scared.
You can see it.
Head
That's
on.
exactly what it sounds
He
like.
doesn't.
Great.
Large hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mess up his hat. He's got the hat on right now.
That's right.
Important.
That's right.
Yeah. Inside of A1's clear yellow and clear dome, you can well, if he was not wearing the hat, you can see the outline of a large rubber hand.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
It's only
So
been
he-
ripped off once.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not by a
gosh.
bad guy either.
Oh boy.
Just a mad guy. Well, mad girl. Anyways, he leads you back to his little workshop, and you hear D4 walking behind you.
Mhm.
And you walk into the workshop. You see there's a couple little tables set up, and there are several tools around. As you get into the room, you hear from behind you.
I am entering the room.
And for a moment, A1 turns around and looks at him and goes, we know you were following us. And you see D4 just shrug his shoulders. And then A1 looks at Belby. Where do you want to start?
Well, D4 was it?
Yes, that is my designation.
It is, again, it's very nice to meet you. Why don't you have a seat or just put yourself where you're comfortable?
He walks over and just sits down on the first table
Okay.
and just looks at you and
she will say, "May I remove your cloak?"
he just nods his head and holds his arms out.
Okay.
He looks at you and says,
Please forgive me. I am not used to being the patient. This is a new experience.
I promise it
I
won't
will
hurt.
follow your lead.
Okay. She'll take the arm and set it next to D4, and then she will lift up her toolbox that is from, like, if you're watching, it looks very heavy. And she kind of puts it down and opens it up, and she starts rummaging through, and inside it's not very organized. It's like everything was just kind of thrown in. But she
Mhm.
knows exactly where everything is. It's organized chaos. And she grabs a couple of little wires and some like a new ball bearing and like all the little pieces that she thinks she needs. And then she will actually end up sitting on the floor cross-legged with the arm itself kind of holding it. I don't know, I'm trying to imagine between where her legs cross, like so it's sitting straight up, and she starts to pull the arm apart where the blaster went through to try to rebuild what was destroyed.
All right. A1 is just watching, and as you move around, he just kind of slowly follows. Like his little optics are locked in on whatever your hands are doing and stuff. And at one point he goes, if you need any spare parts, we have some.
Oh, actually, damn it. I lost my last. Do you have a spare, like, couple washers around?
He runs over to a little bin and opens up a drawer. What size? What color? What kind of metal do you want them out of?
I I have that option.
He says, yeah. If I don't have it in the drawer, I can find a piece on the ship to take apart, make one.
Oh, no need to take anything apart. I'll just can you just bring that over here? I'll just look for myself to see what'll work.
He pushes a tool chest over to you.
And
You can-
her eyes are like they're gray. They're like big and gray. You see like her eyebrows kind of lift in almost excited like surprise that the amount of materials available right now is probably more than she's really ever had access to at one time.
You can find the parts you need in there. Really, when you start looking into it, it's not that they didn't have the parts. It's just there's a lot of very tiny soldering needed to be done on some very fine, delicate parts that needed to be put back together. And what it looks like is, looks like they were standing on a street and tried to slam it together and stick a screwdriver in there and wiggle it. Which it was shortly after combat, so probably
Right.
not too far off, but Corell's probably a little more detailed than that.
Mm-hmm.
Detailed, a little more careful than that.
So, because of, I'm imagining where this is, either above a joint or right on a joint, it's a unique part. Like it's not one that's meant to be broken. So she
Mhm.
kind of she does a little low whistle and she's like, "Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to build a new part for this. So D4, it might be a while. You're welcome to hang out, but I'm gonna have to get creative here to put your arm back on. Is that all right?"
I am not in a hurry. I don't believe the ship is going anywhere. And if it is, well, we have time and space.
Absolutely. All right. Let me find all the other pieces. She kind of then she kind of goes into her own little world. She's muttering to herself. No one can really understand her, but she pulls out a like I would imagine a like a travel size blowtorch kind of thing and hooks
Mhm.
it up on a side of a table and turns it on and grabs one of the spare parts from the chest that A1 brought over and starts to weld and solder and like do all of this very intricate small work. She pulls out a pair of goggles from her toolbox so she, protects her eyes and all of that, but it's
Mhm.
tedious, slow work. And probably not surprising that you all couldn't fix it yourselves just from where the blast went through and how all these tiny little pieces not meant to be broken are broken.
Awesome. A1 is locked onto what you're doing. Everything you do, he is following your hands. You pretty much get the impression he's recording this for his memory and
Okay.
long term.
Okay.
While that's going on, we'll pan over. What's Corel and Tazi doing?
I think Carell just watched this odd thing happen. Uh, looks down at herself, realizes she seems to have gotten dressed up for no particular reason. And she takes the blouse off, so she's just in the bodysuit, which is an armored bodysuit basically. And listens to the noises coming from the fresher and gives a little bit of a shudder, hangs her trench coat and the blouse like kind of on a hook by the loading ramp, and just goes outside and climbs up on top of the ship and just kind of sits there and clears her mind a little bit.
Okay. Tazi's in the fresher.
So again, the music blaring from the fresher quiets, and the door slides open, and Tazi steps out wearing a plush robe from the
Mhm.
fresher. Um,
Are there bunny
and
slippers too, or is that
um,
included?
Are now
there are
pork
Lothcat slippers.
Oh,
Oh, even
excellent.
better. Excellent.
They're Lothcat slippers, and the he like leans into the fresher, and you can hear a sequence of buttons get hit, and then the door shuts, and like there's a little light that's going on in the fresher, like sanitizing mode.
Excellent.
And Tazi like makes his way up to the cockpit and like sits in his chair for a minute, like flips on the comm to the work chamber, like the cargo bay. I
Mhm.
should say A1's experimental / repair bay, and
Okay.
just kind of leaves the comm channel open so he can hear what's happening, and then starts to doze off in the chair. This
Okay.
is really not something that he's into.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's a real spectator sport for anybody that isn't fascinated in watching little wires get soldered back together and
Yeah.
little things welded and little parts created to fill in
Um,
that.
Tassi flips the comm channel over to Carell, just a private channel to Carell. Carell,
Up on top of the hull, Carell just kind of blinks her eyes open, grabs her comm. Yeah,
do you know how much we're supposed to be paying this repair person?
I
Bill
don't even
Bilby?
know our
Bilby?
work. Bilby, I believe. I didn't. I don't know. This is an A1 thing. I was told that. I don't want to go into too many details, but trust in the droid.
All right, I just, we don't have a ton of credits, and I don't know how much was promised. That's all.
Well, honestly, probably between the two of them, they have more credits than the two of us put together, so they can
That's
pay for
fair.
it, I guess.
That's
But
fair. All right. I
um,
mean, I just want to make sure that Bilby gets taken care of.
I'm sure that'll happen somehow. A1 seems to be fawning
It's
all
Bobby.
over.
It's Bobby, right?
No, Bilby, Belby, Belby, Belby DeVoe. No, um, Belby, Bel,
Belby. Belby.
yes, Belby.
All right.
I think.
Belby. Okay. Do we know any? Did you happen to look up anything about Belby?
No, because A1 took my data pad, and now I don't know where it is.
All right. I'm gonna do a real quick holonet search. I'm just curious where A1 turned her up.
Well, she must have been on planet because I don't know. Maybe he looked it up on like Steve's list or something.
Chief's list.
Steve's list, yes.
Nice. Nice. Because the Emperor needs money.
Oh God.
It's a very make the Empire great again.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
Sorry,
Alright,
I ruined it.
so
Ruined it. Moving
Oh
on.
my God, Sheev's list. What is? Oh, okay. So Tazi disconnects the comm and then actually kind of steps out of the captain's seat and goes over to kind of A1's normal station, sits down and starts
Mhm.
trying to search the holonet for um Belby.
Alright.
Bilby.
I'd like to
Uh,
point out that A1
I
doesn't
think
have a chair.
I have a feeling that Tazi tries a couple of different searches with different names, still not sure which one he's got.
okay. So you're gonna roll a computers check. This is going to be, because I'm gonna flip over one of these dark side points. You're gonna roll a red and 3 purple.
Can
Oh,
you
and
explain to
hold
me
on.
what that means, please?
This check is extremely difficult, and
Okay.
Tazi is horrible with computers.
Great.
Yes.
By spending
second,
a
let me
dark
look one
side
thing
point, Chris upgraded the difficulty of one of the purple dice to a red dice.
Got it.
So it's one red,
Alright.
2 purple, or 2 red, 1 purple.
1 red, 3 purple.
3
And since
purple.
A1 doesn't want anything tracked back, he's using he used his defensive slicing skill that he's never used before, but he's going to use it. So you can also add 3 black dice.
Oh Lord.
So just out of curiosity, A1 is actively working against me in this case?
He already did.
Okay. Oh wow.
He
Okay. Holy
basically
crap.
he made contact with her, and then he did everything he could to erase that path. I'm not a computer guy, so whatever you would do to track somebody whenever you do things. Kaylee's rolling her eyes because you are a computer person and I'm not. So you could explain it better than I could on how.
I'm not
so
either.
so A1 used incognito mode.
Yeah, there you go.
Shut up.
All right, here we go. Here we go. A handful of dice, and only 3 of them are working in my favor.
Love that for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't use all of A1's skill.
Hey, when it
That one.
actually, hold on. This is a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 success, like 3 successes.
Wow.
Every green
A
die
lot of
turned
blanks
up
on those.
successes.
Wow.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threats.
I would like to
Okay.
use one of those threats to find out the first thing you find is a meme video of they're taking the Wookiees to Isengard.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Yeah.
So that would leave us with 8 threats left.
8
Okay.
threats.
I have
Yeah.
a couple.
So 3 successes and 8 threats.
All right.
I think
I like.
A1 is clearly informed that Tazi was able to find something.
Hosts the entire internet.
Yeah. As Tazi's doing this, you get through and you see that A1 made contact through that pop-up that came up. He followed a code through that pop-up that led him to a person or a link that just said, to help free yourself, get in contact with Cognito. She will help you through the darkness that we are facing. And then he followed that and made contact with this Cognito person. And as you're starting to read through their conversation, all the power turns off on the ship, all the lights go off, and a second later you hear A1 just jets going, wheeling straight towards the cockpit, and he screeches to a halt up there. All right, they found us. We need to do everything we can to wipe the memory, make sure that nobody knows she's here. Get
Who found what? Who found us? Who's Cognito? What
Cognito's in the back looking at
what the
A1.
griff is going on, A1?
Well, okay, so he kind of looks his dome around. He goes over, plugs into the computer,
That isn't up.
turns the power onto the. Yeah, he does some stuff up front. You see some sparks underneath the, I guess, dashboard, for lack of a better term. And the power slowly comes back on in the cockpit. And he goes, all right. So, and he shuts the door. All right. So Cognito helps free droids. If anybody finds out
Right,
she's here, that could be very bad.
Free droids, like we freed you, right?
Yeah, kind of. Only way better than we do.
Oh, okay. And Cognito
Well,
is.
hold on. I think I can explain this. I once saw a pilot. His name was, I think, Wedge Antilles.
Uh-huh.
He's like, you're good. He's better. I'm good at computer stuff.
Wedge is like
Cognito's
7 years
better.
old at this point.
No, he'd be older than that. He's in his 30s in the movie. Well, whatever. Well, you got a better name then? I couldn't think of
He was
another
a child
pilot from Star
prodigy.
Wars.
Child prodigy. That's
Anakin
fine.
Skywalker.
That's a good one.
All right, we can
It's
use that.
it's Wedge's older brother, Flange.
Yeah.
Flange.
And his sister Pulley.
Flange Antilles.
So A1 says it so. I'm good with droids and computers. Cognito's great. Like,
Okay.
what else
I mean,
can you-
so do we have? Are we hosting a fugitive on the ship right now? Is that what you're saying?
He looks at you. Yeah, like 3, maybe 4.
Okay. I mean, more than normal. Okay, we have an additional fugitive on the ship.
I mean, she might be wanted by a few people, and not the way you want to be wanted.
It would really be helpful, little buddy, if you could maybe, I don't know, run this stuff by us before we find ourselves in these positions in the future.
I mean, I didn't think anybody
All
could
right.
track us. I erased all my footprints on the internet. And
Okay. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So we need to get out of here, is what you're saying. We need to leave right now.
I mean, we should maybe ask her before we just leave and accidentally kidnap her.
Well, either we leave or whatever happens with the ship, she's on it. So
Right. Just I really didn't think they could find us. I mean,
well, clearly whoever they is found us. So prep
Right.
for launch. Prep for launch. I'm going to I'll get on the comm.
and
Um
everyone does a couple more things on the up front, and the power comes back on the ship. And he starts heading towards the back. I don't understand how they found us. I don't even know why they were looking for us.
Tazi gets on the ship comm. Well, Cognito, welcome to the ship, and we are about to take off because whoever is coming after you is coming after us now. So we're gonna get off planet and then we'll figure out what to do next.
So she doesn't react to Cognito.
Yeah,
but
yeah, again, this is just over the comm.
Yeah. But you don't hear anything back.
Mhm.
And she's so focused, she like barely registers you're saying anything over comms. Like is just so focused. Like lights went out, doesn't matter. Can see through the welding fire of what she's doing. Like doesn't matter that the power went out.
All right. Tazi doesn't wait for a response. He starts spooling up the engine, starting to get ready to disembark.
All right.
Or to embark. I get embark? Disembark? To take off. Take off.
Leave.
Yes.
Am's gray.
Vamoose.
Yeah. And A1 rolls to the back where Belby is. So I guess we're leaving. Are you okay leaving with us? Do you need anything here?
She hearing A1 come back in. She lifts her head and raises her goggles. I was like, "What'd you say?" Sorry, I'm focused. We're leaving?
Yeah.
Why?
Somehow somebody figured out we were talking. I don't understand how, because I'm
I,
really
w-
good with computers. I mean, I guess it'd be easier if you were on the ship and going out, but I don't know anybody on the ship would be trying to track that conversation. So somebody outside must have tracked it.
I, I mean, I thought I was just fixing. No one should be after me. At least I don't think so. I just fix droids. That's it.
Eh, they may not necessarily be after you. They may be after one of us, or two, or three, or four of us.
Oh,
It's a long story.
so you mean I'm on a ship of fugitives? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, really a kind of a matter of point of view. Like,
I
guess
mean, it doesn't. To be
technically,
clear, it doesn't bother me. Whatever. I've got all my stuff. We need to go. We can go. I'm gonna keep working on D4.
all right. So you're okay if we leave?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a home, so sure, I'll find work wherever I go.
Why don't you have a home?
Don't need one.
Huh? What? Does everybody need a home?
Home is here. She puts her hand over where her heart would be. I don't know Rhodian biology, but I would assume it's in the same place as a human. I don't know. She's like,
Pretty
look,
sure none of us do either.
we just met. I'm not about to trauma bond with you this early. So, let's just say
Oh.
I've been on my own for a long time, and all I want to do is repair droids. That's it.
Okay. Sounds good to me. And as he starts to roll out, he stops and turns. How good are you at fixing ships?
Uh, I've dabbled, but I'm probably not the the best person, but I do know how like mechanics work and stuff. So, why do you ask?
Sometimes we need help, and Carell's very good at it, and I'm pretty good at it too. But a third pair of hands would be helpful.
Sure.
The A1 rolls out, rolls over to where Carell is.
Who's not
so
on
we're
the
leaving.
ship right now?
Oh, that's right. Technically
She's
you're on
the ship.
Yeah,
on-
technically
in
I'm
the
on
ship.
the ship.
Not in.
in the ship, not in.
I
the
made
ship,
an average perception check to see if I noticed that Tazi was spooling up the engines, and I didn't notice.
Oh
right.
boy.
So
Are you too
A1
deep
then.
in your
A1
Yeah.
paper bag book right now?
No, Carell's actually meditating, so she's like,
Mm.
no, her book's still in the. I mean, if you want to go read it.
Right. A1 rolls into the engine room, doesn't see Carell, rolls back over, sees that the ramp is still down, then rolls back up to the cockpit. I think they stole Carell.
Oh, who? What now? No, Carell was.
They stole Carell. She's not there. She's not in the engine room. I don't.
No. Carell's on the ship.
Well, she's not. I looked. I was in the engine room. I went to the cargo bay. She's not on the ship.
On the ship.
I understand. I looked.
No, she's not in the ship. She's on the ship.
Like on top of the ship.
Yes.
Well, that's not going to do well when we hit
Tazi keys up the comm
higher up.
and sets the alarm function on the comm. So instead of ringing the comm is actually like pinging like an alarm.
All right.
On top of the ship, Carell like blinks her eyes open, looks at the comm, then feels the vibration of the ship, and like literally just does the usual like butt slide down, drops the 10 to 15 meters to the ground, and rushes into the ship. You hear the sound of like pounding feet and ramps closing, and she's like, what's wrong?
I'm gonna pull a dark side point out here, Chris. The ramp locks
Okay.
halfway up.
Okay.
The ramp like
A1.
freezes up halfway up.
All right. As Corell runs on and asks what's going on, A1 rolls up, kind of slams into her, gives her a little hug. Oh, I thought they kidnapped you. It doesn't matter. We got to leave.
Wait, who kidnapped me? Why? What is the alarm? Who's what?
Uh,
What is going on?
so,
Is Belbia
no,
like? Are they a bounty hunter?
nope.
Okay,
They fix
what
things.
is the problem?
So, I made a connection on the internet. I thought I hid
HoloNet.
the
HoloNet.
conversation.
HoloNet.
Sorry. I
If the internet hasn't been invented yet, go on.
I made a
Be a series of
I
two.
had a
Hold
chat.
on.
Yeah. I had a chat on the HoloNet and
Uh
asked
huh.
Belby to come here and help, and I thought I hid the conversation, but somebody found it. But I also set up a system where if they found it, I would be alerted. Well, I was alerted, so somebody found the conversation, which means they're probably coming here.
Okay. Because they need a droid mechanic. Is she in
Well,
that much demand?
uh, yes, sort of.
Okay. I mean, well, how did you get her? Oh, sorry, Tazi. Tazi had a very good point. How much are you paying her?
We never really talked about payment, but it wouldn't
Well,
have mattered.
well, I mean, it does matter. We need to pay her. Droid mechanics
Well,
don't grow on trees, you know. I mean, I cause maybe they hang out. That's neither here nor there. Okay.
right. Well,
So,
we didn't.
um,
She didn't ask for payment, so I didn't offer. But also, would
okay.
you? So
So
remember when
why
you
would
and
they?
Tazi saw that space opera?
Which one? Star Trek?
Uh, yeah, that one.
Okay, yeah, where they go to the different planets and everybody's like really backward and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. So if the star of that show
Uh huh.
wanted to give you a private performance and didn't ask for any payment, would you think twice,
Well, it's.
or would you just say, "Please
I
come
mean,
here"?
I've been on the HoloNet for a really long time, so I'm pretty sure it would be some sort of trick. They're probably after like my credit codes, which jokes on them.
Right,
Ever since the Empire rose, I really don't have any credit.
Hmm, that's true.
All my Jedi
But
cards have been canceled.
yeah, but if you had confirmed their identity and you knew it was that person for sure, and they said, "Sure, I'll show up," wouldn't you just say yes?
Well, I mean, I want to know what they want in exchange. Are you saying that
Uh,
you're just very excited that this person is here?
yeah,
Okay. Um, I got an idea. And
fix the ramp. Got it.
Carell goes to see Belby.
All right. A1 goes to fix the ramp.
There we go.
We can
So
just follow
this would be
Corel.
like, yeah, the Carell walks in, and she looks just a teeny bit sweaty all of a sudden, and is like, excuse me, I know you're in the middle of micro welding, but do you have enough attention to answer a couple questions while you're doing that?
Belby is again deep in work, but I would imagine that D4 maybe pokes her with an arm to get her attention. And so she kind of lifts her head up and kind of blows out a long breath as like, whew, D4, this blaster did a number on your. Oh, she lifts her goggles and turns like, oh, Corel, right?
Yeah. We really should get better at fake. Don't. That's neither here nor there. So how much are you charging A1 for this?
Nothing.
And okay, why are people after you then?
I don't know.
Okay, do you know who is after you?
Nope.
Okay, good talk. I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks. She puts her goggles down and goes right back to work.
Corel looks at D4, does a D4 move and kind of tilts her head to the right, and then straightens her head back out, blinks twice, and then heads back up to the pit.
All right. A1's fixing the ramp, so Corral, you get up to the cockpit. Tazi's doing his thing to pilot
Tazi,
the ship out.
I don't know. She drops into her seat. I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea either. We need to get, apparently we need to get out of here and we'll sort it all out once we're off planet.
Okay. You know what? That's fine. And Corel looks over at the panel where there's a blinking error light for the ramp. She reaches over and thumps it with the side of her hand, and it turns green, and you can hear it start whirring as it closes. Apparently she doesn't know why she's being hunted, and yeah, she apparently was going to fix D4 for free. Something really weird is going on here. So we need to get to the bottom of this. She doesn't know who's after her, and
I mean, she doesn't. I mean, again, she doesn't know right now. I think the important part is we get off planet. We find a place to hole up. We'll figure all this out and see where she wants to be let off.
okay. I got
And
one more
maybe
question
we
for her.
can maybe getting her off planet and getting her somewhere else. We can maybe take that out of some whatever A1 negotiated for fees.
Well, apparently there are no fees. So
But I mean, there's always a price. There's always a price.
I know. I need to go ask them a question. I'll take off when you're ready. I don't know where we're going though, but pick a place. And Crow runs back
When
out
do we
the
ever
hallway.
when do we ever know where we're going?
That's a good point. And like, kind of almost screeches to a stop. A1 A1 sees her running into the other room.
On the over the comm real quick, there Tazi basically is like, do you hear Tazi pop in? All right, lifting off, everyone. Hold on. This is gonna be a messy exit to space.
And Carell like skids to a stop, and Belby's like sitting on one like a stool almost, and she's familiar.
Oh, she's on the floor. She's sitting
Okay,
cross-legged
you're on
on
the
the
floor?
floor. Yeah.
Okay, that's safer for. So Carell's like kind of like stands nearby, like in case you start sliding if Tazi takes off very spiritedly. Belby, quick question, and I apologize, I didn't ask this. Pronouns are she, her, or that's what A1 was using? I just want to make sure that I was doing it right.
Oh, yeah, she, her is fine. Thank you for asking.
Cool, no problem. Ditto. We're about to take off, so you might want to like hang on to something. And Carell is hanging on to like a bunk.
As the words "you might want to hang on" like leave Carell's lips, the ship lurches and shoots forward out of the landing bay.
Okay, so Belby's on the floor. I would imagine she starts to feel gravity like push her backwards, so she shuts her travel welder off and then tries to grab the arm of the table she's sitting in front of.
I'd like to imagine that the toolbox, The
Yep.
toolbox tilts and everything just starts rolling across the floor.
Yep. And she's like, not again. But she still is like holding onto the arm of the table because it's very clear to like Corel, she's not flown that much. Like, if she has, she's not used to bumpy takeoffs, but she seems very out of sorts with the fact that they're taking off.
Yeah, Kara, you feel like as you kind of get pulled back and you're grabbing on, you feel like a foot kind of like lightly touching your back and bracing you from where Corell's sitting because she's like braced against it and she's got one foot kind of reached out, kind of like, just make sure you're not going to slide off into the distance.
And she'll kind of look at you. She looks like before she was pretty calm, like when she was working. Now she seems very tense, like nervous. And she's like, "Thanks."
Don't worry, it'll only be a little rocky till we break atmosphere, and then once gravity the inertial dampeners are a little wonky on these older ships, and well, we've been scavenging a lot. I keep losing washers out of mine, and I don't know why. The washers keep vanishing, not the bolts, not the nuts, just the washers. So everything's slightly misaligned.
I can look maybe
If you
sometime.
have, if you have any spare washers, that'd be great. We seem to go through them very quickly. Okay, yeah, yep, everything should smooth out here in just a second. I can feel yeah. Okay, we should be good. Um, Here, let me help you pick up, and Curl will start grabbing your tools, putting.
And she seems a little like she seems uncomfortable with the fact that you're touching her tools, but she doesn't say anything. But everyone you put in, she definitely picks up and inspects. Like, her toolbox is her pride and joy. Like, it's very clear that this box of things with everything coming out of it is the most important thing she owns.
That is absolutely fair. Now, you will notice that when Curl puts things back, if there's a spot for it, it gets placed back where it should. If there's a spot, it's probably like where it ought to be, maybe. What makes logical sense, not just thrown in there randomly. Curl has the same problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Belby's not, as she picks them up, she's not putting them back where Corel initially put them. She's just kind of tossing them in. Like, it's her pride and joy. She doesn't care if it's organized. But she does crawl around to grab like the one random screwdriver that like rolled under the table and stuff like that. And she kind of looks around and is like, "Where's that blast?" And she kind of pats her clothing and she pulls it out of her belt. She's like, I left it there. It's fine. She tosses it in. And she says, "So, I know I said that this would be free, but really your payment is just getting me off of that planet. So, thanks for the ride, I guess."
All right. Oh, okay. Is there any specific place you want to go before we go into hyperspace?
Nope, just not there.
Okay. I mean, that's not my favorite planet either, so I kind of get what that means. Um, all right then. It If you need anything, let us know. Need a place to sleep? Let us know. I can't shouldn't sleep in here. It's a little weird. Um,
I mean, I'm comfortable amongst machinery,
but there's
she
like nothing.
says.
There's like nothing soft. We can at least get you a bunk.
A, a bunk?
Yeah.
Re- really?
There's two of them. Tazi doesn't use them. You just have to share the closet.
I mean, I'm wearing all the clothes I own, so I won't need one.
Okay. Well, what? Okay. Hang on. Do you wash them while you wash you?
Well,
No
yeah.
judgment.
How else are you supposed to wash them?
Well, I usually change to another set of clothes and wash the dirty clothes.
I mean, she looks down at her clothes again. Is like, these That's all I have.
How tall is Belby?
5'2".
No, this is
Krell's not the shortest on the ship anymore, is she?
Corell is not. No, A1 technically is the
How
Uh-oh.
tall is Corell?
All right.
5'3".
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Specifics.
Corell goes, "Gotcha. Hold on," and she kind of trots down the hall, comes back a couple minutes later with a pair of like mechanics overalls
Oh, okay.
and a t-shirt, and basically a t-shirt, and says, you can borrow these. Might be a little long in the legs, but you can always just pin them up. It's not a problem. It's a spare set, and we can wash those for you.
Really?
We're about the same size."
I thank you. Humanoids aren't like nice to me a lot of the time, so thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, it's a kind of a sucky galaxy right now. It I mean, yeah, it sucks. And yeah, a lot of humanoids are kind of. It'll turn back around.
Yeah. I hang out with droids most of the time, so they don't really care if my clothes are dirty or not. So,
You you haven't met A1. You should have seen what happened when he heard you were gonna be here. There was a whole like, if this had been like a hollow show, there would have been a montage of cleaning.
oh, I mean, I didn't ask for the ship to be cleaned, so
I
I
didn't
just
think
fix
so,
droids. That's it.
and that's perfectly acceptable. I mean, you do you. It's fine. Um, I think A1 just to impress you for some.
I mean, I'm not that impressive of a like I go around and fix droids, make enough to get by, and that's it. I'm nothing special.
Okay, well, I mean, that's welcome to the ship of people who are nothing special. Definitely nothing abnormal about any of us.
You know, it's kind of nice to be not looked at like the weird kid.
No, you're no, no. Let's see. We've had Wookiees. We had a medic who at one point, um, let's just say we had to clean the entire gunnery pod, and the coconut smell didn't come out for years. Let's see. There was a whole war. We had a droid tend to be A1. We had the droid liberation movement for a while. It's been a busy few years, so yeah, you're not. It's
Hmm.
pretty normal.
You said someone pretended to be A1?
Yeah.
Not D4, but A1? Really?
No, no, no. A1. Yeah, and well, that was before we had ship one and A1, and then they were reintegrated.
Huh.
Yeah, there was an evil A1.
Oh.
I don't think
Oh,
droids are evil.
well,
Droids can't be evil.
this was a like. Okay, you've met our A1, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, A1 also has skinned a Trandoshan previous. I guess that is. But I mean, his programming's is better now. But no, we had another droid pretending to be A1. We just call it the evil A1. Like I mean, he wasn't wearing a goatee or anything, but like all the Hollow programs, there's always the
Oh,
dark twin.
uh, I don't think I've heard of that, but it sounds interesting.
Oh, it's usually the hunkier of the two that is. You know what? Never mind. That's a book. Anyway, you're not weird, okay?
Well, thank you for
No.
saying that. Um, I'm gonna fix D4 now.
Yeah, obviously this conversation has gone on far too long and you are uncomfortable. So we're gonna let you go about that. D4, Belby might, like to talk more about that with you, where she's more comfortable, because she's uncomfortable around other people. Maybe you can help her with that. Wink, wink. And girl quietly walks.
E4 looks at Belby.
Would you like to discuss your comfort around droids versus organics?
I mean, and she has there's like an immediate shift in comfortability talking to D4. And she's like, droids have always been my, I guess, friends growing up. I mean, I was just always good with my hands, and my parents didn't really pay attention to me much, so I entertained myself, and um you know uh then they kicked me out because I wasn't contributing to the household, and I've been on my own ever since. And I guess I'm good at fixing droids. That's just my thing, I guess.
I feel this is something that we could investigate together more in depth, but I would like to say that you will find yourself at home here, as this crew is also very different. Captain has his own issues with his parents. Bro really never got to know hers. And myself, well, I have an interesting past as well. For now, though, I think that you might be more comfortable if you just got back to work, unless I am wrong and you would like to talk some more.
Silence is comforting.
I agree.
So
And then he,
I think I'm about ready to reattach this. Are there any like changes you want made before I reattach your arm?
That is
If
indeed
it's not,
true,
it's okay if you don't.
unfortunately.
We have time, and um I haven't gotten the pleasure of working on a limb that's not attached in a while. So, um yeah, whatever, that came out wrong. I'm sorry. I Just tell me if you want any changes, and then I'll reattach your arm.
I've never been asked that question. I will have to think about it. For now, I think the way it was will be perfect.
and then he
Okay.
just gets quiet and just sits there.
Okay.
You asked it for quiet, so
Yep. So she'll do one last look of the mechanism she's rebuilt. And then she will get ready to reattach it to D4's body.
and we cut away from that, and we'll cut back up to the cockpit as A1 comes into the cockpit and looks over at Tazi. All right, so did you figure out where we're going?
Well, I was about to plot a course to, well, the closest thing to neutral space I can find here. You want to plug in and see what you can find?
Sure.
I can do it, but you'll be faster.
All right, and he plugs in.
We just need a place nearby we can hole up while we're figuring things out.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I'll figure that out later because
hell, I
I
guess.
didn't pick a planet.
I mean, I guess we could actually probably just go back to our base, right? We could go home.
Oh, we could. We should just make sure we're not followed.
Yeah, plot a couple of let's plot a couple of jump points to away from our actual course, and then we'll change up and head back home. We'll wild goose
All right.
chase. Well, not there's no there's no geese.
Thanks to use that as a term. Wild bantha chase.
I'm trying to think of another Star Wars animal, and I'm blanking.
Porg.
Yeah,
A
that's
wild
I like
porg chase.
wild pork chase is perfect. I like that. Why not?
All right.
I don't. We'll lead him on a wild. We'll lead him on a wild pork chase.
All right. Wait, while you do that, I'm going to try to figure out who hacked into our system to try to find us.
Are you trying to do an impersonation of me?
No. But I'm going to make the same roll you had to make.
Oh Lord.
So 3 successes.
Sounds familiar.
But I did have, yeah, but I didn't have quite 9 failures. I only had, threats. I only had 3 threats. So A1 plugs in, starts spinning around on the computer. I think the one of the threats, the alarms go off again as he triggered his own little trap, and then he
Corral rushes up
stops
into
and
the cockpit. What's going on?
about that time, all of a sudden, A1 turns his dome, looks at Corral, turns his dome
What?
back, and looks at Tazi. It's a false alarm. It
Oh.
was Tazi that tracked us down, not somebody else.
How could
Wait,
Tazi track us down? He knows where we are.
What? Wait. Why? What happened?
Well, looks like you got on the computer,
Uh-huh.
followed my communication to her.
I was just looking up information on this Borby person.
Belby.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to find much on Belby. And you shouldn't find much on her alias of Cognito, because many of us are doing everything we can to cover her tracks.
Yeah,
I'd like
there's
to make
going to
a
be some.
perception check
I
on
believe
Cognito, by the way.
to use an old hollow space hollow or stellar hollow parlance. There's going to be some splaining to do.
Chris, could I make some sort of roll to see if I've heard of Cognito, considering Corral is kind of in the whole slicer mechanic zone?
You could roll Underworld. That'd be as
The place
close
to
as we have.
go is in the slicer zone.
That's horrible.
You find the info.
What's the difficulty, please? Please help.
Be four purple.
Okay. I think this is going to be a good time to use one of my new talents.
Okay.
I'm going to use the ability There Is No Try. Once per session. Oh, it says ally. Damn
Only
it! I
Zool.
can't use it on myself. Never mind. All right. Well, I'll try and roll this pilot part. Remember how to swear in Star Wars E's.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Slicer zone now with auto zone jingle.
Get into the zone, slicer zone.
I almost sang it and decided against it for copyright reasons.
Don't stop yourself. Their auto zone's not coming after us.
Are you sure?
If they do, I'd be flattered.
Well, a failure and a threat. So.
Oop.
All right. So yeah, you don't find anything.
Okay, it rings a bell, but I can't.
Mhm. And A1 looks over at Tazi. What explaining would you like done?
I mean, how did you know about Cognito before?
Yeah,
Okay. So what's the deal with Cognito and freeing droids? Like what why like talk to me.
because why? Because it's the right thing to do.
Explain it like I'm a hatchling.
Which part? Bring the droids or why?
I get why freeing the droids is a good thing when there's a reason we freed you after all, but
Sometimes I
Mhm.
kind of wonder, but
Yeah, me too.
did
I
you
don't
know
know
did you
why.
know did you know she was on planet?
No, nope. So the pop-up that came up on the data pad had a code in there that those of us that discuss topics behind the scenes know. And I reached out because I figured she's the one that could fix D4 if anybody could. And I found out she was on the planet. And then I reached out and she said she would be here. And she's here. And now she's here. And we accidentally left with her, but I'm not taking the blame for that because you're the one that shouldn't have been snooping around.
I wasn't snooping around. I was literally like just accessing the holonet. Like I I didn't snoop. I literally went looking for information on Barbie.
LB.
Belby. What I mean
LB.
Belby, fine. I went looking for information on Cognito. How about that?
Yeah.
Do I call her Cognito? Do I call her Belby? Like what's what are we doing here?
Well, she introduced herself as Belby, so I would go with that.
But why do you call her Cognito?
Because that's the name we used to hide who she is. We don't want people to find her because she's really good at what she does. Like, really, really good.
So who is after her?
Anybody that doesn't want droids to be freed.
Chris.
Sorry, it's not a little. It's not a short list. It's a very
No,
long.
no. You're probably right. Okay.
And the Empire, for one, probably, because they like droids. So, yeah, we have her on board now.
Yep.
She might maybe ask us to help, or not. She may just free droids while we're doing things. I don't know.
I mean, I uh, okay. You realize that we're still trying to keep somewhat of a low profile, right?
Oh, she.
Well, yeah, but having her around makes it even harder for us to keep a low profile. Do you understand that, A1?
Yep. And having somebody that can do the force stuff makes it harder too.
Yeah, but we already had that.
Right. Yep. True.
That was already included in my calculation of how difficult things were. You know, the force
Good point.
Corell's
Good point.
force abilities were already included. So now we've got Corell's force abilities that she is trying to hide. We are trying to hide just from the Empire in general, and now we've got a a droid. Um, I guess It's the best term for it.
Uh,
Droid freedom fighter.
icon in the droid. Yeah, or
Droid
yeah,
Emperor.
or you could say an icon in the droid liberation movement too.
We have we have the well, apparently the face of the droid liberation movement.
I mean, not technically the face, more the behind the scenes actually doing the work.
Yeah, but if all the droids know that there's a person named Cognito, and we have Cognito on board, we have the figurehead for the entire movement. Yeah. Not just the figurehead. We have the actual. We've got the key component of the movement with us.
One of them. There's others.
Oh, so Cognito is a group, is not a person.
Well, Cognito's a person, but there are other people that are key parts of the. So you know how we've done some stuff with the huts. You know,
Yeah.
how there's more than one hut.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, only they do good things, not bad.
Okay. All right. I don't know that I don't know that I'm really in a place to be trying to process all this right now.
Hangover.
We're gonna get back to the base. Um, tell Belby they can use my quarters.
The one that you're supposed to sleep in, not this chair, right?
Yeah, just don't mess with the stuff in the closet. That's fine. Everything else is fine.
Right, will do. Anything else?
Just make sure the linen should be fresh. I think the plastic cover is still on the mattress, so
Yep.
it's fine. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'm gonna sit up here. Go ahead and calculate the jumps. I'll just make sure everything goes smoothly. And yeah,
A1
yeah,
plots a course to jump around. And
jump
after
around.
a couple minutes,
Slide to the left.
after
Slide to the right.
Cyberspace once, y'all.
after
Crisscross. I'm done. Sorry, continue.
Turn it up.
after a few minutes, A1 rolls to the back. He comes into where Belby's at. So we're going someplace that's safe, and then we can figure out where we're going from there. There is a spare bunk you can stay in. It's clean. Nobody's actually ever used the bunk.
You notice
And,
there's also a pair of
there's-
Carl's coveralls sitting.
Yeah. And he looks over and says, "Oh, I see you've changed. That's good."
Oh, she hasn't
there's-
changed. The clothes are just they're on the table. But she
Yeah, so
has
you
the
might-
change of clothes.
Gotcha.
So you might
They're
think
there.
Carl has been kidnapped and just her clothes are here. A1's been a little distracted lately. She's been
Yeah.
taken up.
Oh no, Belby killed Corell and she became one with the Force. Anyways,
Ah. She would never.
Be hilarious.
A1 just looks at Belby. There's food-ish in the common area. I don't mix the stuff that's in the cabinet to the left up top. Your eyesight goes blurry and you throw up a lot.
Oh, I mean, I have rations. I don't need to take your supplies. I have enough for me.
Oh, thank God, because yeah. So, you probably don't want to eat what's in there anyways. But once we get where we're going, we'll figure out what we're gonna do.
I mean, I'm gonna go find more work. I
Yeah,
just go where work takes me.
stay with us. Things break around us all the time.
Oh, you know, we'll see about that.
If you don't break.
I'm not used to people wanting me around.
Stops. His dome kind of looks to the side. Why not? You're talented. You're smart. You can do amazing things. Why wouldn't they?
I mean, I just fix droids for people. That's it. I fix them. And then I go on to the next thing.
So is it they don't want you, or you don't want to be around them?
It's complicated.
Oh,
And
you'll fit in well.
you know, I'll keep that to myself for now.
Fair enough.
I do have a
A1 starts
question
to
for you
roll out
though.
of the.
A1.
He stops and turns around. Yeah.
You called me by a different name when I arrived.
Yeah.
Why did you call me that? That's not my name.
So there's a group of us that are trying to keep you safe because of what you can do. So we try to hide your name so people can't find you.
But what do you mean what I do? I just put droids back together when they break. I'm not following what you're insinuating, A1.
Uh, a lot of droids change after you work on them in a good way. They become
I mean,
more independent.
what do you mean more independent?
They think for themselves more than they used to. They don't necessarily have to follow commands as much as they used to.
She leans back and pulls out her data pad. And she opens up her, I guess it's like a giant note in note app that's just lines and lines of code.
Mhm.
And she kind of scrolls through it and she's like, can you show me where?
A1's looking at the code, and I mean, if a droid could start breathing heavy and sweat, he would, because he's looking at this code, and he just leans over and he's staring at it. He's like, this will take a long time to go through. This is very complicated. And
I mean, you can just take my data pad. I don't need it right now.
reaches out and takes it, and then slowly just rolls back to the other side of the room, and you see him analyzing the code.
And she kind of gives a, if Rhodians could smile with a little smirk, that's what she's doing.
Mhm.
And she turns back to D4 and she's like, all right, let's get this arm reattached.
That would be most helpful. I do
So
appreciate your time in this effort.
it's time well spent. I know droids don't really feel pain, but if anything feels too tight or too loose or like it's poking things, tell me, because I want this to be as like work as good as it can for you.
I will. I must say, this is a unique situation for me. I am usually the one making those comments to my patients. And I'm the one that usually works on, well, biological. Interesting that the biological creature is now fixing me.
I mean, humanoids have doctors. I'm just a doctor for droids, I guess.
I understand. This is a new experience for me. I am trying to process it.
Process as long as you need
We've-
to.
Thank you. I will. I will let you get back to your work.
And he just sits there quietly, watching what you're doing and
Yeah.
waiting for it to get reattached.
She'll take out her little it's like the tiniest socket wrench you've ever seen and the tiniest screwdriver you've ever seen to get into the like little nitty-gritty to reattach. And she's very like methodical about how she does it. Like she's paying so close attention to the work that she's doing that it's like nothing else around her exists except this connection point between D4's body and the arm that she's rebuilt.
And I think on that note, we are going to bring this episode to an end. We are back for season 3 of Smuggler's Blues. We want to thank everybody for taking part. We had at least almost a dozen people in chat tonight. We really appreciate everybody being. And we're gonna start with Michael. And Michael, would you please tell people where they can find the internet if they want, if you want?
Well, nowadays there's not a whole lot of places on the internet you can find me. You clearly hear be doing like little things. Tubular Teens with Titans is one of the audio dramas that I'm still a part of. That's still going. We are doing a wonderful job closing in on the finale of season 2, and an award-winning show now. Kaylee and I are both part of an award-winning audio drama. Um,
Nice.
so you can catch that at any of your podcatchers. Again, it's Tubular Teens with Titans. It's a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. It's a lot of fun. You can find us there, and then also I believe we're both doing some voice work for some reading work for some of the recent videos, short form videos coming out for Rook and Rasp. You can find us there as well. Um, that's it for me, really. You can also, find me. You can find me on the SoundCloud mixes for the group All Ears Theater. We do short radio shows, 30 minutes or less typically, and it's all done live on stage in front of an audience. We record and publish them as well, so you can look us up on SoundCloud or look us up on any of your browser search engines to get to that. They're fun little listens for commutes and on the way home, or if you're taking walks, doing some exercise. Everything's done live on stage. All the sound effects, all the music, all the acting is all done live in front of an audience. It's a lot of fun.
Chris, where can people find you?
I mean, obviously right here. Plus, I am now doing Tabletop Cafe every other Wednesday, which is on the Tabletop Journeys podcast network. That was formerly Detention with the RPG Academy. Michael and I have just moved it over to that network as the RPG Academy's moved more towards the YouTube style entertainment. Otherwise, you see me at a Catacon in November. Good chance you might see all of us at a Catacon. I'll be there running games, playing games, having a good time, helping run the convention, running all around. There's some other things I have in the works, but until they become a reality, I don't like to talk about it too much. But don't do too much on social media. I do like Discord. on the Rook and Rest Discord. You can always find me. And otherwise, Emma, where can we find you?
Like Michael, can't really find me on the internet much. I have an Instagram that I don't really use, so if you're take a gander, it's EM Carnicombe. But otherwise, you can find me on the Rook and Rasp Discord, Rook and Rasp Discord, or just on Discord in general. I also run games at a catacon, and am very excited to be joining the staff for Kobold Press with Michael in August at Gen Con. So if you're going to Gen Con and you're doing a live play for Kobold Press, you will find both of us there, probably running around like chickens with their heads cut off, but it'll be great. But other than that, thank you everybody for joining. I had a really great time, and I'm really excited to be a part of this cast for this season.
We're thrilled to have you.
Indeed. And we will see you guys back here in 2 weeks for episode 2 of 3 of Smuggler's Blues. Everybody have a good night.